What's up, YouTube? It's your man Big Noah back at it again. I saw this title and it kind of jumped out at me. It's a Flag TV interview. Godfrey agrees with Freeway Rick Ross. Africans look down on Black Americans. And I don't know if it's Flag trying to pit X against Z, or just trying to get an opinion, or is it Godfrey wanting to look cool or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Because Vlad mentioned Rick Ross, you know what I'm saying? I don't know what it is. That generalization type of thing is just, bananas, but just the topic just jumped out at me, man. The topic jumped out at me, man. But let's go ahead and delve in.
Speaking of Africans,
yes.
I had Freeway Ricky on recently.
Freeway.
And he said something interesting about Africans. Well, let me see if I can just let me find it real quick.
And plus you're on what is this? A hip hop channel, or a lot of people call Flag TV this, Flag TV that. People watching these Flag TV interviews. It is a thing. People are calling Flag TV studios trying to get interviews, you know what I'm saying? But it would be cool to have, you know what I'm saying, some more diversity in the news, or people are complaining about the content, but many people that own these websites, Worldstar, these gossip sites, they're not Black Americans, but hey.
It's cool as shit.
This is Freeway Ricky.
Yes.
Talking about African Americans and Africans.
Oh, I love it.
You love it?
I love it.
Can't wait for this.
That's how Soul Play got good.
Or we can escape to, this is like everything that we have is right here. Even Africa, they don't really accept American blacks. They don't really like us.
There's a friction between American blacks and Africans.
Well, American blacks don't have no friction. They have a friction.
Yeah.
American blacks like everybody.
This is true.
We just like accept anybody coming our community. Oh, come on in, bring your store and all your goods and everything. We'll buy that shit. You might not be worth a damn, but we'll buy it. We'll support you.
Yeah, you're right. The racism comes from the African side.
Yeah, we don't have any of that. American blacks, I feel, have been giving away their stuff too long. It's time for us to become more conscious about everything that we do, what we do with it, who we allow to get our money. And I think that once they do that, it's going to be a big difference. But no, we don't have anything against them. They have a friction against us.
Right, but
He's so right.
so you're actually agreeing with this.
Damn right. Because
You're African.
And I'm West African, Nigerian, but I was born in Nebraska, Lincoln, Nebraska. My father went to school there. I have video on my Instagram. Comedian Godfrey, by the way. But it's the truth.
I mean, I'm from New Orleans. I was brought here when I was 3, and Nebraska. I didn't know they had Nigerians in Nebraska.
Because if you remember the movie Sugar Hill,
Yeah.
and there's a scene
Yeah.
where they're doing the thing with the drug dealer, the guy said, we can't work with Akata. We can't work with Akata.
I first heard that word, Akata, when I went to Nigeria. I didn't know what it meant. I asked my dad what that means, and he said, I guess they say cotton picker, you know what I'm saying? But I never heard that. My mom or my dad never mentioned that in our household. It took for me to go back and hear somebody say it and ask what that meant. But, unfortunately, obviously that word is being said in a lot of African households, you know what I'm saying? But name calling is just childish when there could be so much building, going on, you know what I'm saying?
That's a word that they were calling the American blacks, Akata, the Nigerians. Akata is a word that they use for American blacks. And Wesley Snipes is like, yo, what is this Akata shit you keep calling us? And the guy goes, we don't want to work with cotton.
That nigga look like he watched a lot of Wesley Snipes movies, nigga. I'm about to karate kick the fuck out your ass.
Pickers. And then Wesley beats the shit out of them. But it's the truth. So African Americans and Africans have always had friction. You know what I'm saying? But Africans, and I know some Africans are gonna probably be like, I don't like what you, man, whatever.
People were upset over this clip. This clip started going viral on Twitter.
Why are they getting upset at that clip? First of all, it's the truth. Africans come to America, and there's a lot of my African American friends say, man, a lot of Africans are really mean towards us. They're really nasty towards us because they feel they're better towards us. And I think it's the wrong attitude to take because I'm West African, but I was born here. My friends are African.
I mean, I disagree. I think that some Africans think that they're better than X, Y, and Z. Nigerians think they're better than everybody. That's the difference. You know what I'm saying? That Nebraska water got you fucked up, homie.
My friends are African American and African. I think it's fucked up because here's the thing. Africa, like when you say Nigerians or we were colonized by Europeans, man.
We was colonized for 60 years, 1900 to 1960. And, you know, colonization isn't just, oh, I'm coming in with a gun. Colonization is, oh, I'm coming in with a good word, this nice book. You know what I'm saying? Get your guard down. Let's do a peace campaign. And once you got somebody's mental, the physical lapse, and you come in with your army, you know, you come in with your tough guys after that. That's just how it is, you know what I'm saying? And that's all the war, you know? Put people's guard down, then you come in. But that lasts for 60 years. You know, the hells of North America, when it was that, because I think that 400 years is about over. People like Malcolm X, you know what I'm saying, Elijah Muhammad, you know, Martin Luther King, they put an end to that, you know what I'm saying? 400 years, hey, it's over. 60 years, hey, it's over. But I guess they're talking about the remnants of that. You know what I'm saying? And we both have a common oppressor, which is the distraction that, you know, people don't see.
Look at South Africa. With all the Dutch, they shit on South Africans, man. And it's finally, I think, South Africans, with the help of Julius Malema and all these, they're trying to take some of their shit back. Dutch people are fucked up towards fucking black Africans. And the fact that a South African, a white South African calls himself African, to me is fucking ridiculous. Like, you're Dutch, you just didn't leave. How the fuck do you steal African from somebody? How do you go, listen, if I was born in China, black, and I said I'm Chinese, I lived there my whole life, would you believe me? Would you believe that I was Chinese if I said, listen, and I didn't even have to accent, listen, I'm Chinese, I promise, I've been there all my life. Would you believe me?
Yes, I would.
You would say, I'm Chinese. You would believe I was Chinese. You wouldn't say, hey, you're a black dude. You just happen to be a Chinese.
Third generation Chinese.
No, I was like, no, what if I lived there all my life, I'm Chinese. I go, ni hao, and
I mean, it's like, it's common knowledge now. You have black Italians, you have white Italians, you have black Chinese, but you don't see them. Most of them are Aboriginal. And you have white Chinese, because you only see the white Chinese. You see Jackie Chan. You see the young lady from the Kill Bill movies. Her name is, escaping me. What is her name? You see, you know what I'm saying, Lucy Liu, but you don't see the black, you don't even know any black Chinese people that are known on the major, the closest you get is Tiger Woods. That's somebody who's made inside of this country, who's half black. So, that's crazy, man. A lot of people don't realize they're black Chinese people.
You consider yourself American?
Would you believe I was Chinese, though?
Well, I believe you're American.
Would you say I'm black first? Would you look at me as black first? I was like, if you never open your mouth, first, if I didn't open my mouth and I'm sitting like this,
first see you as a black person.
You would say there's a black guy.
And then you would open your mouth and I go, you wouldn't believe that shit. You'd be like, Chinese black guy.
There's a black dude doing some Chinese shit. I don't know what the fuck that was. But it's like when white South Africans, that's not even real. You're not even African. You don't even live amongst the black ones. It's that same mentality that Africans have when they come to, and I've had relatives, man, I'm not gonna name them, I've had relatives go, oh, we're better than African Americans. I go, no, we're not. Because I was just stopped by the police the other day. And I'm gonna tell you, I used to try to use that African accent, you know what I mean? When police stop me, I say, I'm sorry, officer, what is the problem? I am not the same as them. You know what I'm saying? Listen, I'm not gonna act like.
Excuse me, don't come with me with rubbish. You're harassing me. I'm a chief. You're very stupid. Just get about your day. Go about your day, officer. Don't at me with nonsense.
No, of course there's a slight cultural difference when you're African because you know what it is? In Africa, usually they'll show African Americans in a certain light. So Africans will have this concept of how African Americans are. And then in America, they would show us Tarzan. They would show us Tarzan and Africans suffering with flies on their faces, starving. 300 African kids.
That's so old. All you have to do is go look at a Nigerian movie. All the fucking mansions and all this other fly shit. Furniture made of giraffe and all this other fly shit, man. That shit is old, man.
In the school with no books. So they used to call me Black African Booty Scratcher. They used to call me names.
That shit old, man. It's a new generation, man. That shit too fly to avoid, man. Every championship team has to have one. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. People like to paint that old dynamic. You know what I'm saying? But racism is everywhere. If you have a racist relative, just try to lead them into a righteous thinking that, all of us bleed. Whatever you put into your mind, into your body is what you're going to get out of it. Whatever you put into this world, you're going to get out of it. Karma is real. You know what I'm saying? So even those people that are oppressed, they met their own circumstantial demon that they had to deal with, You make your bed, you gotta lay in it, But what are y'all thoughts about the statements made? Let us know in the comments below. Like and subscribe as well.
Fuck the crumbs, give me the oven, bitch, I need the whole slice. For centuries, live that get up and go life. I can react to my act and write the script to my own life. I live that golden road with a dro and a stove life. It's morning time and I'm still in her throat life. The pinky came with a coat life. Beef? Don't need to be there like, hey, I'm seen, cause I could pass it to a shooter like Draymond Green. Walk up to your honey bunch and say, hey, I'm Dream. Later on, I'ma meet her friend named Kareem. Chief Chima dominates the scene.